Hello there, welcome to Inkquiring Minds. My name is Doug and I'm back with another Murray's Moments fountain pen review. If you watched my interview with my pen friend Murray, we discussed what is considered by many to be the ultimate Grail fountain pen, the Waterman Edson. Murray has two of them and has loaned me his first Edson to use and review. Let's take a look at this design and engineering marvel and see why it's so highly coveted right now. And this is Murray's Waterman Edson. It is an example of the first edition of the Edsons. It came out in this sapphire blue with gold cap first. And I'm showing this pen in its straight from Murray condition. Murray's a pen user. He has hundreds and hundreds of fountain pens and uses a lot of them all the time. He has said that at any one time he might have 100 pens inked up and ready to write with. That's because he likes to write with his pens rather than having them on display behind glass. So this Edson is well used, as you will see. I'm going to show the parts and features of this pen, some size comparisons and measurements, and then I'm going to provide a writing sample. But first, let's talk about this fascinating piece of fountain pen history and lore. I think the Waterman Edson is rightly considered to be the ultimate Grail fountain pen because of three factors. It's arguably the most beautifully designed fountain pen ever. It's exceedingly rare, and it just keeps getting more expensive. They sold for $300 or $400 when they were first released in 1993, and now they go for thousands on eBay. Waterman was a US-based company until the late 1950s when it was sold off to the French company Bic. Yes, that Bic of Bic pens. It is now owned by Newell Brands, and the pens are manufactured in Nantes, France. The pen was designed and released in 1993 in this original sapphire blue color. Later, the colors green and red were added. The model was named after Louis Edson Waterman, his middle name. The model was discontinued around 2019. If you purchased one before 2019, you're in luck because they've since skyrocketed in price due to the limited number available. So why does this pen deserve so much attention? So let's look at its design and features and you'll see. First of all, it is a large pen. Here it is next to a Pilot Metropolitan. You can see how big it is. It's even bigger than the Waterman Cadenne. Here it is next to my Cadenne in amber. And you can see it's thicker and longer. It is elliptical in shape and quite striking at first glance, even capped, with its unique Art Deco curvy clip, the silky smooth satin 23 karat gold plated cap, and the stunning sapphire blue barrel that plays tricks with your eyes. It looks like it's translucent resin, and then it looks like it's enameled brass. So is it plastic resin or is it enameled brass? Well, the trick is it's both. There's an outer translucent resin sleeve and an inner lacquered brass barrel with just a slight amount of space between the two to make the barrel look like it's lit from within. If we get really close, you'll see transparent through to that knurled brass right there that holds the outer barrel on the inner barrel. So it has this glass-like feeling to it, very much like a jewel. I think that's the idea. It looks like a blue sapphire. The clip is spring-loaded, pivoting into the top of the cap. It's similar to the spring-loaded clip on the Cadenne. And the sides of the clip are engraved with France on one side and with the serial number on the other. The clip hugs the cap in a swooping elliptical curve all the way around, giving it a visual foreshadowing of the luscious nib inside. Of course, the clip has the typical Waterman split down the center, but no Waterman logo as in the Cadenne. But the space at the top of the clip is given that satin gold treatment. The bottom of the cap has a shiny ring that has Waterman on the front and France on the back. The cap pulls off to reveal one of the most uniquely beautiful nib designs ever created. The nib is inlaid into the section with the same translucent sapphire blue resin as the outer barrel. It might look like that's black, it's not. It's that translucent blue material. And of course the Waterman Edson 18 karat gold inlaid nib. If you look carefully through that translucent blue resin, you might be able to see the fins of the ink collector on the inside. Waterman touted the Edson nib design as leak-proof. Here's a quote from the original manual that came with the pen. Quote, "The interior of the nib unit hides the engine of the Edson, an engine that for the first time prevents leakage, the most common fault in all classic fountain pens. Very simply, according to the law of physics, when pressure is exerted due to an altitude or heat, the volume of the air in the ink reservoir increases in volume and tends to expel the ink towards the nib. Waterman engineers have therefore added a compensator of unequaled efficiency to the Edson engine, which by completely absorbing any overflow eliminates such a risk even in extreme conditions." I haven't had this Edson long enough to test that theory. It certainly hasn't leaked, but the nib does show nib creep, which a lot of fountain pens do. The nib itself has the Waterman logo in the center, no breather hole in that nib slit, and 18K and 750 on the shoulders for the gold content. And there's a black plastic housing on the bottom. There's an ink filler hole right there and an F for fine. And the nib is separated from the inlay, and the gold inlay of the section wraps around with the same elliptical shape as the clip around the cap. The bottom of the section has 3 gold-plated studs that flex with the cap to snap the cap closed with a solid click. And when it's clicked shut, it doesn't spin or rattle. It's just solid. Inside the cap, you see the tension fingers that hold the pen in place when it's capped, and the brass screw at the end that holds the clip mechanism in place. There is a black plastic sleeve that engages with the end of the barrel when the pen is posted so as not to scratch the resin. The section unscrews to reveal the included high-quality gold-plated standard international converter and the gold-plated brass section tail that has a silicone O-ring right there to keep the barrel from unscrewing during use. The Edson will take standard international short and long cartridges. The cap posts deeply and securely, and because the section is so long, sleek, and generous, it isn't difficult to find a comfortable writing grip with the pen either posted or unposted. The pen is a hefty 47 grams posted and 27 grams unposted, and none of that weight feels unwieldy at all because of the excellent balance of this pen. It is a truly remarkable writer. When you look at it, you say, wow. Whoa. When you hold it, you say, holy crap.
Holy crap on a crap.
And when you write with it, you say, holy shit! Now let's look at some size comparisons. And here is the Waterman Edson with a Waterman Carène in amber, a Sheaffer PFM from 1960, a Pelikan M800 in blue, a Leonardo Furore in Blue Galaxy, and a Pilot E95S. Now let's look at them posted. And here they are posted. The Edson, the Carène, the PFM from Sheaffer, and the Pilot E95S are arguably some of the most beautiful nibs ever designed. And these are all gold nibs with the exception of the Leonardo, which is a gold-plated steel. The Pilot's 14K, the Pelikan's 18K, the PFM is 14, the Carène is 18, and the Edson, of course, is 18. Now let's look at them unposted. And here they are unposted. Of course, the Pilot E95S is not designed to be written with unposted. It's way too short for that. But with the long cap, it becomes a standard size fountain pen posted. Now let's look at some measurements, and I'll be back with a writing sample. And we're back with the writing portion of the review. This is Clairefontaine 90 GSM paper, and this is the Waterman Edson. And it has an 18 karat gold fine nib. Let's check the wetness. It's nicely wet, and it's very smooth with a toothy feedback. Some people don't like the toothy feedback. It's not scratchy at all. Just gives you the feel of the paper on the page. So it's like writing with a pencil. Some people like that kind of feedback, some people don't. I tend to like it. It gives my writing some stability, as you can see from my chicken scratching. You don't want to see it when I'm not stable. And the ink is the ink that Murray put in this pen, and I've refilled a couple of times because I've had this pen for about a month now, writing with it almost every day. And it is a Roshizuku Konpeki, my absolute favorite ink. And the line this nib makes is exactly bang on 0.5 millimeters, which is a Western fine, of course. And for our quote. And for some reverse writing, a little bit more toothy, but it's actually writing okay. A lot thinner and a lot drier. And for some quick writing, this pen just has no problems whatsoever. I'd say it's perfect. So what are my thoughts about this fountain pen? Well, it is Grail worthy, yes. I've wanted to get my hands on one of these for a long time, and when I went to a pen club meeting, I saw this Waterman Edson being passed around. My eyes got as big as saucers, and I said, "Whose Edson is that?" And of course, Murray put up his hand. "Yeah, it's mine." Of course. He says, "Yeah, this is the one I carry out. I have another one that I keep at home." So of course, Murray doesn't have just one Grail pen, he has two. And many times you're looking for a fountain pen and you lust over it and you see the eye candy and so forth and you get all excited. And when you actually get one in your hand, you go, yeah, not so much. I was kind of like that with the Lamy 2000. I thought it was an interesting looking pen, and when I got it in my hand, I thought, I really don't like it. And I had the same experience with my Lamy, with another Lamy as well, the Lamy Dialogue CC. A beautiful fountain pen, looked glorious. I loved the function and everything, but it just wasn't for me. It didn't sit well in my hand. I was worried that when I got my hands on this one, I thought, maybe it's too chunky or something like that, or I won't like the balance, I won't like the way it writes or something like that. But I love everything about this fountain pen. It's as close to perfect as you can get. It has a beautiful capping mechanism, on and off, very, very smooth, very solid, doesn't spin around. This gorgeous double-barreled feature that gives the pen this sapphire jewel-like quality. And what can you say about that nib? It might not be to your taste, but I think it's one of the most elegant things I've ever seen. I love how the design echoes between the cap and the nib. So the cap has the same kind of a swoop around the outside, and so does the inlay on the section. The inlay on the section mirrors the clip design and that innovative inking system that has some compensation on the inside of that feed that keeps the pen from spitting or from spilling into the cap. I haven't had it long enough to find out whether that's true or not. I've had it about a month, and it's shown no signs of leaking. The one thing I'll say about this pen, which is this pen I think was made in the late 1990s, so it's not a young pen. It has held up very, very well. There's no scratches on the barrel whatsoever, and this pen has been used. There is some wear and scratching on the gold of the nib, but that's easily polished out. It's not something I'm going to do, but it's something that Murray can do with his fountain pen. And speaking of Murray, I have to thank him very, very much for the honor of owning this pen for the last month. It's going to go back to him real soon, so it can keep the other Waterman Edson he has company. But thank you, Murray, for loaning me this pen for review. I know there's a lot of people out there that think that this is one of the most gorgeous and Grail-worthy pens ever created. I know I love writing with this. Some pens are just beautiful to look at. Some pens are beautiful to write with, but not beautiful to look at. This pen is beautiful to look at and to write with. And you know that if you ever pull this out at a meeting and you write with it, someone's going to say, "What the hell is that?"
What the hell is that?
And you'll be able to extol the history of the Waterman Edson. And I know that they'll love you for that. And there you have it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell to get instant notifications whenever a new video is posted. And you can join as a member of my channel for only 99 cents a month, and I guarantee I'll answer your comments in the comments section, and you'll get cool emojis, badges, sneak peek unboxing videos, as well as instant access to my videos the moment I post them. And that just leaves it for me to say thank you for watching. And that's all she wrote.
I made this.